Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Lorraine. My nickname is Rainy and you can call me Rainy. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back, and if you're new, welcome aboard. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the move I recently made a few months ago. I moved from New York to Vermont to live near one of my sons, and I just wanted to give just some thoughts on how to find your life, to find a new life once you've made a big move like that. So come on, come along with me and let's chat about it. If you guys have made any moves like that or are contemplating them, I'd love to hear from you. You can leave a comment, but in the meantime, let's just start chatting. One of the things that I wanted to discuss, or at least clear up, is I moved from a house that I owned into an apartment. And so I brought my pets with me, Bob, my cat, and Tucker, my dog. And the adjustment to them in an apartment has been difficult. It's been difficult on me. I don't know if it's been difficult on them, but Bob, he's inquisitive and he gets into everything, and Tucker has a lot of energy, and so I have to manage those two things in an apartment. I do have a yard, luckily, and I can take Tucker out, and he plays with Lou, the dog, my landlord's dog. The one thing that also was a little bit of a challenge was making my apartment my home. And so what really helped, honestly, was hanging some of the artwork I have acquired and collected over the years. And so I wasn't going to do that, but once I did add those beautiful images to my walls, it just brought me peace. Another way to build a new life is to patronize a local diner at breakfast. Now, I'm alone, so I end up bringing something to do, a list to make, or some magazine to read. And I try to avoid having my face in my phone. And then another thing that I am doing is Rutland, Vermont has a downtown, and so that one of the first things I did was try to track down an art supply store. They do have one of those big craft stores, but they don't always have fine art supplies. So there's a new establishment that opened up a while ago in Rutland, and so I went to explore that, and I met the proprietor, Raven. She was a doll. Of course, she said that it's a new store and that if you see something that you like that they don't have, they can always order it. Of course, I always can find something that I like. And so, not that I necessarily need, but so I made a purchase of some gouache, a set of gouache paints. And then these little packages, they're little pads of paper. It's a brand I have not used, and all of these little pads come in hot press, cold press, and black. And so they're small images, and so you can do some practicing. And that's what I've done here, some practicing. And it was a good and fruitful way to begin to get familiar with my new area. I have to admit it's not easy. I have to force myself sometimes because I don't always embrace change, and I tend to be hermit-like. And I know that in order for me to really be happy here, I'm going to have to engage. I'm going to have to find and build a new life. And I'm not going to pretend that it isn't hard, because it is. It is hard. But I think at the end of the day, I know that God brought me here for a reason. If He didn't want me here, I wouldn't be here. And so I have to just step at a time, one foot in front of the other, move forward uh, in trying to find this new life, in trying to build this new life. I'm grateful that I have my creativity to lean on. Um, so I can always go home and sit at my art desk and play and practice. And now that I have a new set of gouache paints and all these little pads of paper, there's not a lot at stake. So, um, anyway, I don't want to pretend that it's smooth sailing or everything's going to be perfect when you make a move. Because what you really need to do, and what I'm having to do, is show up. I have to show up for my life. And not like I have done in the past where I've hidden from my life. And so you have to make a commitment now. That doesn't mean you're going to stumble. You're not going to stumble and fall and try to withdraw at times. But as long as you keep rebooting and moving out of your comfort zone, I really believe that I will find what God has planned for me. It could be nothing more than, or nothing more than, I hate to use those words, but a simple life, working with my hands. And to me, that would be a good life. And the bonus is I'm going to be living near one of my children, my son Jonathan, who has been so great. And I have so much gratitude for everyone who helped get me here, and everyone who is helping to keep me lifted up. I've made some acquaintances through my church and a Bible study that I have joined. It's a women's Bible study. And I attend a regular church service on Sunday, the Calvary Bible Church. The people there have been so kind. And it's funny, this past Sunday, now it's March 12th, so this past Sunday, my son Jonathan went with me to church, and we were greeted by people that we've seen over and over again. So the first few weeks, I felt like a stranger there, but with each passing week and each time I participate, it's building on the time before. And so eventually I'm going to have someone that I can really call a friend. In the meantime, I'm grateful that I don't mind spending time by myself. I'm comfortable with myself, and I have enough interests that keep me occupied. Although I do, true confessions, need to avoid binge watching The Crown and other things on Netflix that really I don't need to waste so much time on. But I love to read. I love to paint, and I have lots of different things. Now I have that set of gouache paints that I need to learn to handle. This little painting that I'm working on right now is actually being done with transparent watercolor. But the beauty of it is, once I get to a stage in some watercolors where I don't feel like I can salvage it, I need to use an opaque paint. And so that's one of the reasons why I invested in that set of gouache paints from Kaleidoscope Art Supply, is because I try not to use white when I'm painting in watercolor, but sometimes I reach a point where there's a point of no return and I need to use some opaque paints, and so I have resorted to using gouache white. Now I have a full set, so we'll see where it all goes. But I'm really blessed that I have my interest in art. I love to read. Now I'm committed to taking Tucker for a walk so I can maybe get this weight under control. And I'm planning on having a little deck garden. I have a little porch that wraps around my apartment, and that is also a wonderful blessing. I have a couple of pots and planters that my brother built, and so that's going to be my garden fix this year. And at this point, I think it will be enough. My life is rich and full enough without having to be have a big yard to maintain. So there are always bright spots, and I have to remind myself to look on the bright side and to show up every day for my life. That is key. And you never know where God will lead you. That's the adventure of it all. Until next week, thank you for watching. Be blessed and be a blessing to someone else if you can.